Testing one, two, three. Hey, we are live. Welcome to Focus Hour. I'm very, very excited to be here. It's a great day, and what a great day to have Focus Hour. So, my name is Simon. This is just a space here for us to connect, for me to show up on LinkedIn, and be present and have conversations with anyone else who might be founder, might be interested in connecting. The reason I really started doing this before I dive into more material is is because one reason. Every week I would have conversations with founders, leaders, business owners here on LinkedIn in the comments. And we would comment on each other's posts or DM, and it was like, hey, would love to connect. And I've been on some calls, right? We would hop on a call here and there, but that can just be time consuming. And so and oftentimes it's hard. Sometimes people don't check LinkedIn messages or whatever. So what I ended up doing was just creating this space I'm calling Focus Hour, and it's just for me to show up. So if you follow me, if you uh want to connect, if you want to chat, this is just a space to do that. And uh we're gonna go live for about an hour and hang out. And so would love to have you. And if you have any comments, feel free to just make them. If you have any questions, I will see them on my side. And if I can, I'll bring you onto the call and we can like chat back and forth if I can figure that part out. But would love to have you here and maybe we can connect. So let me share my screen and we'll get into the material for today and go from there. Let's see. Share. Great. I think I should be sharing. I'm gonna do this just so we can see. Okay. Today's topic is leadership identity. And Focus Hour is, like I said, this space, it's for the top 1% of founders who refuse to drift. If you're a founder, if you are, man, want to build a business that's great, you want a life that you love, you want to be the best. You want to perform, you want to grow, you want to build and when I say top 1%, you go, I want that to be me. You're in the right place. This is what we're going to be talking about is what that looks like, how to be that and what it takes to be that. And I'm going to share what I've learned in my journey. I'll share about me. I'll share about from what I've learned from other founders who are in the top 1%. And we're going to explore and grow together. So here we are. This is This is here. This is for you if you're frustrated. If you're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., stuck in a loop, you know what I'm talking about. That was, me last night. But oftentimes, we all have this experience if we're trying to build something. Straining your family to carry your team, wanting growth, but it feels random and distant. If you just feel like, man, if I quit, everything falls apart. And if I keep going, everything falls apart. This is you. This is for you. Let's get focused. And that word focus, I know that maybe means some different things to different people. I know I talked to my wife about this just the other day, and for her, focus means having her calendar aligned, knowing what she's doing when, knowing what dates things are coming. Like she's got a plate of everything's in its place. And for her, it's very maybe tactical or operational or pragmatic. For me, focus is more of a feeling. It's more of a state of being where I'm locked in, zoned in. And that's where a lot of founders that I know and have worked with, 7 and 8 figure founders, we just long for that feeling of like focused. I mean, it's like if you're on a run and this is where like your heart's caught up. It's not struggling to keep up anymore. And you've got that runner's high going and you're just locked in and you're just lost in that run. That's what we're talking about here. But unfortunately, right now your freedom vehicle, this business that you've built, may feel like a prison. It might even feel like every decision, every crisis, every dollar is on you to make, to do, to create. Um, let's see here. You think that if you push harder, it'll finally all click. But when focus is scattered, every distraction looks like an opportunity. But I've been there too. So this is my story. Why I'm here, why I'm talking about this is because this is so personal to me. This is something I'm passionate about. This is something that I have gone through myself as a founder. This is also something over the last 10 years that I've helped founders go through and work through as well. I've lived every moment of these pains. When you say, you're the bottleneck of your business. Yep. Like, get that, right? You're burned out and spinning. Oh yeah, know exactly how that feels. Um, and you're lost and confused. Like, yes, been there most days or every day, right? It's I totally get that. And what I want to share is just a little bit of my story. This is me on the left and me on the right. They are the same person. They may or may not look that different to you, but to me, it's a massive difference. I see a completely different person. Both I'm smiling, but on the left, this was back in at the start of 2022. We were at a point in our business, we were stuck at about 300,000 in revenue. And I was, I look happy. My wife was happy. This is us in Coeur d'Alene, taking a walk on the boardwalk. But the truth is, I was 50 pounds overweight. I was doing anything for anyone who would pay me. Um, I was a functional alcoholic, wandering through my life, trying to lead and figure out how to build a business and figure out how to, manage clients and a growing family. And it was a bit of wandering, struggling with constant sinus infections because it wasn't only my business that was struggling. It's not this like compartmentalized thing. It was affecting my body, and the drinking was tearing my system down. And like I said, struggling, capped, ceilinged at 300,000. On the right, this is me, gosh, at the start of this year, 2025. Um, and this is a picture of me and my son Peter going to a Phoenix Suns game. But totally different guy. 50 pounds gone. I'm in a place where I'm doing what I'm best at and I'm doing what I love and I know what that is and I've delegated everything else. Um I've got a clear 10-year vision for my business and my life, and I'm operating on my 1 year goals, and I'm building an intentional business and intentional life that's going somewhere that I know exactly where it's going. I've got visible results in my body, in my mind. I've lost the weight, working on abs, working on, got some bicep veins starting to pop out, but it's not there yet. It's still a work in progress, but it's completely different than Fat Simon, struggling Simon, embarrassed Simon, insecure Simon from 2022. And my mind is clear. I show up every day with clarity. Like the difference is like I'm not hungover for half the day trying to make it by. Totally different Simon. I'm up at 5 a.m. doing a run or a workout, helping my kids get to school, getting to work. Anyway, and operating a seven-figure consulting business and coaching business while working 30% less than I worked then. Um, but the thing is that I'm gonna continue to unpack this story, but I tried on my own for years to break through. And it was crazy because I just remember this one moment and I tell this story often, and I think it was like a Labor Day in September. And I was, my whole team was off, but I was working, of course, and I was pacing around the room in my bedroom, our master bedroom, losing my mind, stressed out because this was a handful of years ago. Probably it was back in 2022, actually, is when that was. Um, and yeah, 2022. And I was losing my mind, trying to figure out what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How do I grow this thing? How do I get out of this stuck spot? And I thought of someone who could help, like this person I had followed for years. And I thought maybe I know they have a business. I know they coach, consult, something. Maybe they can help me. So I reached out, set up a sales call. They could help. We set up a meeting. It was a massive breakthrough. And what I realized out of that moment is every time I got stuck, every time I've gotten stuck, that it's been a coach that's helped me grow. And I just want to share with you, these are some of my coaches. I tried it on my own for years. I tried to grow. I tried to break through. I tried to build my business. I tried to get control of my life. I tried to get clarity in what I was doing. And it's taken many, many people to help me through this journey. And, um, you know, if you're a founder and you're in this position, you're probably using ChatGPT, you're probably Googling growth hacks, you're probably trying to figure stuff out. But I think what I realized for me is that I could Google growth hacks. I could ask chat questions. But what I really needed was alignment and execution. And it was really the people, the relationships, the coaches that were in my life that gave me the roadmaps I needed to get clear and focused enough to transform. And yes, I've used chat while getting coaching. But the point is, between Chris and Matt and Scott and Dale and James and many others, Carl, my list could go on and on. There have been so many transformative moments in my life that these people helped me through. Chris is helping me see with clarity and focus and operations. Matt is getting data and precision on my numbers. Scott is helping me become more of an operator, more of a builder. Dale helped me learn how to dream big and see what's possible in life as an entrepreneur. James helped me overcome internal battles and hurdles and limiting beliefs that were holding me back. I mean, I remember he said some of the most mind-blowing things to me. Our first meeting in a coffee shop, I went to get a coffee refill and I sat back down and we were talking. He's like, I know what your problem is now. And I was like, what? What? And he said, you have this big old sticker on your head. It's right here. It's like you have a sticker and it says, I'm 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 too busy for you. And it just shook me up. And he's like, you're sitting here saying you want to grow, you want clients, you want opportunities, but you're walking around this coffee shop and you're walking 100 miles per hour. You are not looking anybody in the eye. You're not saying hi. You're just saying I'm busy. So nobody's going to approach you. And it's like, man, he just wrecked me. Um, because I was saying I got all this time. How do I use it? And he just totally wrecked me. I could probably keep telling stories, but I should probably stop for there. But what I want you to see is my transformation journey was a series of relationships. And there's this phrase that I use called relationships. It's relationships determine results. And there's no matter what goal, what type of thing you're trying to achieve in your life as a founder, in your business as a founder, the way to get there faster, straighter, is to have relationships, to have coaches to help you. I know a founder that also runs um, like endurance marathons and stuff. And every time he signs up for a new race, his first job is to hire a coach to help him get there. So anyway, I just want to share with you. I didn't, this transformation that I'm sharing is not on my own. And but today, because of what I'm going to share with you today, what I've learned from others, I'm leading with clarity in my life. My marriage runs on midday syncs, not midnight arguments. You know what I mean? If you're married, you know those arguments, those conversations have to happen. If you don't have a place for them, they happen at the worst times. My kids, they get one-on-one daddy dates. Not just my evening leftovers. So we have a time on Friday that I take them out in the afternoon. It's pretty special. Means a lot to them, means a lot to me. I'm advising seven to eight figure founders without working 80-hour weeks. And like I said earlier, um, I'm in a place where I can do what I'm best at. I have a team who does the other things. Um, and I can play a role that includes me living my best life and doing what I'm best at. And it's possible. It doesn't mean it's perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying uh, is that you can be a leader who grows with vision, focus, and control. And what I want to share with you today is how I became a leader who can grow with vision, who grows with vision, focus, and control, and how you can do that too. And maybe we can even have a conversation around it. So let's keep going here. One of the key things I want to point out at this point is it's the transition. That was my story. Now I'm going to share a little bit more about today's topic, which is leadership identity. And what I want to share is that growth, scaling in life and business is different than what I thought. I thought growing, scaling my business was was something I could just do, uh, or that it was operational, or that if I just had the right pieces in the right place, or if I found the secret. And the secret that I found is this: scaling at the expense of health and family isn't winning, and it's not wealth. True success is having an aligned life and business. And what we're going to get into is that's how you are going to create the most success and how you're going to feel the most successful. It's through aligning your life and your business because you don't get business growth without personal growth. And my question is if I can transform, if I can lose 50 pounds, if I can go from 300,000 to breaking a million, if I can um, go from frustrated to focused, why not you? If I can make a transformation, why not you? Well, there's a plan. There's a path that I want to share. These are the five domains that I believe every founder needs to align before they can fully accelerate. And let me just share one more thing. Why I created this is because it has come from my life. This is what I believe, this is what I know, this is what I've seen, and this is what I've walked clients through. And I've also seen this through other people. And when I say these are the five domains every founder needs to align before they fully accelerate, I say that because over the last 10 years, I've built a marketing agency. And the founders that have come to me for growth, many of them have come to me wanting to accelerate their business. They want to scale. They want to increase revenue. They have these growth goals. Let's do it. And we've served hundreds of clients over the last 10 years. And what I've found is that the ones who actually grow and succeed, the ones who go to the next level, the ones who break through, do this. They align to accelerate. The ones who just want to accelerate without doing the alignment work fail inevitably every time. And I thought at first, maybe it's just, maybe it's, maybe they're on the wrong platform. Maybe there's not product market fit, maybe the market's just not favorable for this type of product. Maybe the messaging is bad. Like there's all these factors to growing that you go, oh, how do I get all these pieces right? And they're all important. But what the most important thing that I saw was not just messaging, was not just platforms, not just strategy or content mix. What it was vision, goals, vision, execution, alignment. That whatever we did, whatever they did, aligned with who they are and how they believe. And this phrase has come out of this for us, which is aligning who you are with how you grow. And when these companies aligned who they are with how they grow, they could grow. And what I want to, and so I created this out of that to help our clients get growth ready so that they could accelerate at the level that they want to and reach those goals. And this is basically the pre-work process. So there's 5 domains. One is vision. Do you know where you're going? It always starts with vision. I did a session. The first session I did was on vision. I will keep talking about vision. Vision is massive. Vision isn't isn't just elusive and big. It is critical. Vision is very tactical, very specific, very operational, but vision is the core of the puzzle. You can't build a business without execution, but without vision, um, the old proverb says, without where there's no vision, people perish. And it's so true. Your business will die, your team will die, everything will die when you have no vision. So, do you know where you're going, or are you just hoping next month will be worse? Oh, won't be worse. Sorry. I understand that I've been on both sides. Now I'm operating out of a 10-year vision. Before that 2022 picture, it was just a hope next month is not worse than this month. We'll see how it goes. Two, health. Do you have rhythms that help you grow? Or are you running on fumes and burning out? Now, I did a session last week. You can go back and watch it on health, founder health, and the big concept here is your body is the first business that you lead, the first business. And if your body is unhealthy, you're not going to have what it takes to show up fully and drive value through your business that you hope for. So health. When you have health, it gives you energy. When you have vision, it gives you clarity. When you have health, it gives you energy. Three is leadership. Are you the leader your business needs? Or are you actually an overpaid firefighter? This is what we're going to unpack a little bit more on this call today. But when you have leadership, you get confidence. You feel confident. Your team feels confident. The market, the clients feel confident. And this is a massive component. Systems, number four, is your business running like a machine? Or are you chasing new trends just to survive? Big difference here. Big difference is the machine runs itself. The machine requires inputs. The machine with the right inputs and the right processes spits out outputs. This is how business work. Leading inputs, actions, system, outputs. And as a founder, I mean, you can be at $1 million and not really realize that because you're so deep in the hustle and grind. And I say that because that's me. That was me. Not saying that out of theory. It's literally true, right? And so but without systems, you can't really build a business that's going to survive the times, survive um, trends, technology, market shifts, your life, uh, team, changes, bad performers. I mean, all this kind of stuff. So systems are going to create resilience. Five is standards. Yeah, standards. And the question here, I can use standards and culture. Is your team a community you want to be a part of? Or are they a headache you want to get rid of? Now, team is a massive topic. Team is a very popular topic. Team is, if there's any topic from any content I put out on LinkedIn or TikTok, team always gets the most views. Team always gets the most engagement. And it's because team's hard. Leading a team is so hard. Managing a team is so hard. There's so many components to it. We'll continue to unpack that over time. But when you have a team, you can get results. And one of the biggest things that I want to share is that you will not be able to accomplish your vision without a unified team. I mean, unless your vision is very, very small. But if you are here because you want to be in the 1%, you've got a 10-year vision, you're trying to accomplish something big, you want to build a legacy, you can't do that without a unified team. So these are the main pillars to alignment so you can accelerate. I just keep checking to see if we have any viewers or comments here. It doesn't look like it. That's okay. Well, I'll keep going then. Without clarity and alignment, you'll drift into shallow, wide growth. With clarity and alignment, you'll build a durable, focused legacy growth. That's what I'm here to do. What about you? What about you? So let's talk about leadership identity specifically. We're going to dive into this topic and start unpacking it from a high level. Over time, I'd really like to unpack a lot about it. I'd like to really field the questions. I'd like to really understand what my LinkedIn audience is struggling with leadership identity. So I'm looking forward to when we have a group here and we can have conversation. But what I do know is what I've been through. What I do know is what my coach has been through. What I do know is what my clients have been through. And I've seen a lot firsthand. So that's what I'm going to unpack here. And the key thing that I want to unpack is the person who started it, your business, you, isn't the person who can scale it. Now, this is a harsh truth. If if you're the person who started it, you cannot be the person who scales it. Now you're instantly going to say, so are you saying I have to hire a outside CEO? No, I'm not. But I am saying um change transformation is needed. That may be an outside CEO, but it may not be. Let's unpack that. So this is really the leadership identity trap in a nutshell. The same grit that got you here. And if you're like me, if you're here, if you want to be a top 1%, if you're got a legacy vision, you are probably a gritty person. You put up with a lot. You are can weather some storms. You're going to put in the work, and it's more easy for you to grind and hustle than it is for you to sit back and relax on the beach with a margarita, right? Um, but that same grit becomes the very thing that keeps you stuck. Same thing. But what I want to show here is what I've called this is called the revenue journey, the founder journey by revenue stage, and I've got three bullet points. Um, I learned this through my coach Chris, who learned it through the Infusionsoft or Keep founder Clayt Mask. Clayt actually is here locally in Phoenix. Met him and been at some of his events. But and I've simplified this. I think Plate has maybe 7 stages, and he breaks it up in a lot more detail. But I don't want to really do that right now. If we have a session, I break it down deeper later. But right now, I just want to kind of give you these mindsets or understandings. I've simplified it into three main stages for our conversation here today. At 0 to $1 million in revenue, you as a person, as a leader, as a founder, must learn to delegate. You, you can go from 0 to 3, 500,000 on your own. I have heard in rare cases founders going 1.5 with them in like an EA, but like that's pretty rare. Usually around 300,000, you hit your cap. You hit your cap. You can't go further. You can't spread yourself more thin. You can't acquire new skills fast enough, or even have the time enough, no matter if you're working 10, 12-hour days. You got to learn to delegate and work through others. So this is when you start building a team. This is when you start um, failing as with your leadership. You start really feeling leadership pains. You don't really have to change a lot until at the end of 1 million. But from 1 million to 10 million, you must systemize. And this requires you thinking beyond I do work. It You think of it more like a machine, a thing that runs, that you have inputs, that you plan, you design, you create, you plug other people into, and that spits out outputs at the end. If you're not to 1 million, that concept doesn't quite make sense, I don't think. But unless you've been through this multiple times, right? But this 1 to 10 is systemizing, running the machine. And that's, of course, team building, it's leadership, it's all the things. But what it is you disassociating from that thing and you being someone who contributes to it so it can run. From there, 10 to 30 million plus. And I'm not going to go too much beyond that right now. But this stage, I work with founders in each of these stages. And this 10 to 30 million dollars is where you must scale. And if you're not delegated, if you're not systemized, and if you're not aligned with your vision and values, scale really can't happen. Scale really is very hard. And scale is fairly boring, but but it's really hard, right? If you haven't become the leader who can scale at this point, this is where people bring in external CEOs because they get to this moment where they think, do I have what it takes to keep building this? Do I have the resources? Do I have the skills? Do I have the, I don't know, stamina? Do I have the knowledge? And that's where they bring in someone else who they think is more experienced, usually kind of on the upper side of the stage. But each of these stages requires a shift, an identity shift, a different person to lead the business. Um, and what I want you to start to see as we go through this is if you don't change, if you don't grow, if you don't expand who you believe you are over time, you will not be able to, no, I'm doing it linearly. I'm going to go up. You will not be able to take this ladder and go to these stages or these levels. This is a process of being bold. This is the process of being um, very tolerant to insecurity and new things. This is being very into learning and growing and um, it requires a lot of faith and a lot of imagination. That's what I'm trying to say. And so here are my guiding principles along this leadership identity. And I guess I've already gotten to number one here is that every stage requires a new identity. So if you feel like you're out of your depth at any of these stages, especially as you go to the next one, you're normal and you're in transition. You're normal and you're in transition. I have seen this and I've watched my clients go through this. I have been through this, and this is very real. It's a very real moment where you feel out of your depth. And just want to say, lean into it because it's very normal. And you can use it as an opportunity to transition. Okay. Belief, this is the second point here. Belief comes before ability. Do you believe in your ability to be CEO at every stage? Now, this is maybe, if I had one thing to say on this topic, it might be this one right here. Belief comes before ability. What nobody does, not nobody, most people don't, but they should do is when you go into starting a business, you should look at this ladder, these three ladders, or get the whole thing, get Clate's thing, and look at all seven stages and ask look at it and ask yourself, do I believe that I can do what it takes to take a company through every stage? And it's not failure if you don't, but the question is where what do you believe? What do you think is possible? And what is possible for you? What do you want? These are really, really great questions. But the key here is that you can have the ability, but it all starts with believing that you have that. Okay. Third thing is that growth isn't just about mechanics. It's not just about hacks or tricks or information. And this is the thing that chat can't give you, that um, Google can't give you, that just another course can't give you. This is why I hired another coach. My CFO, just Nick, he just asked me the other day, why'd you hire another coach? And my answer is because I need to see what I don't yet see about myself, because I'm in a transition, I'm going to the next level. And in order to do that, it help. It helps seeing what I don't see. Growth is about identity, leadership, and resilience. It's about believing. So the question is, are you leading from belief or faith in what's possible, what could be, or fear of what is or what could be, like being found out, imposter syndrome, like, or failure, fear of failure, or fear of losing it all, right? So oftentimes as founders, we definitely struggle through growth because instead of operating from what if it works, we spend all of our time avoiding, supplanting, dodging the barriers. And there's this great analogy for this that Dan Martell has used. Um, and he's CEO of Martell Ventures, runs a coaching program called The Elite, a fitness program. He's a pretty big name. Anyway, he talks about skiing, downhill skiing through trees. And he did this gnarly course one time with some friends and a ski instructor. And the ski instructor said, "Hey, here's the rule. Don't look at the trees. Look at the gaps between the trees. Look at the sun shining. Look at the end." And he said, if you look at the trees, you're going to hit a tree. It's all about what you look at. So Dan's going along. He's like, look at the sun, look at the sun. He's like dodging the trees. His buddy over there who came with him, he couldn't help but look at the trees. And the dude whacks himself on a tree. And they're like, dude, what happened? He's like, I was looking at the trees. It's like, you got to stop looking at the trees. Same thing here. Growth is about seeing through the trees. Growth is about looking at the opportunities and the possibilities. But if you're always constantly looking at the obstacles, you're going to hit them. All right. Identity alignment prompts. So, one of the best ways to see yourself in this topic is to ask yourself some questions. Ask yourself some questions about leadership identity, and actually explore for yourself and chew on where you're at. So, some questions that I want to ask as a mirror for you that are also helpful for me are, where are you clinging to the gritty operator identity that got you here? Where are you clinging to the gritty operator identity that got you here? And like we talked about, what got you here won't get you there. So there's this element of you're gonna have to let go of some parts of who you were. Doesn't mean you have to toss out gritty operator. Gritty operator probably can take you somewhere, but the question is what's helping you right now and what's not. Does that make any sense? So like a lot of founders that I talk to, what happens for them is hustle and grind. This they cling on to. If I just work harder, if I just do more, if I just can get more hours in, or if I can just get more. And there's something to say about hours. There's something to say about working so hard and so much that it becomes unreasonable for you to fail. I mean, that's Alex Hormozzi's thing. And is he wrong? No, he's right. But is he all right? Well, no, do you have to do that? Is it serving you anymore? And Alex is great, but if you've got a wife, no kids, um, and your wife works in the business with you, maybe you can put in 16 hours a day and it's actually part of your lifestyle, your values, and how you live your life. But the question is that aligned with who you are? Because I'll tell you, I've got four kids, a fifth on the way. My wife's pregnant. Um, we just put our kids in school and um, we're building our business. And the truth is, if I can't operate like Alex does, if I if I want to be true to my legacy and my future in the same aligned with my vision. So that those are the questions to ask. Okay, next. What belief do you need to claim in order to grow your next identity as a leader? This is the tough one. What belief do you need to claim, parentheses, that you don't yet that you have not yet claimed in order to grow your next identity as a leader? In order to go from 1 to 10 million, 10 to 100 million. What do you need to believe about yourself that you don't yet believe? For me, um, I know that recently one of the things that I needed to claim was that I can be a builder, that I can build. Like I associate so much with ideator, visionary, um, futurist that saying I am going to submit to a process and endure um systems, like build systems and run systems and love the machine, master the machine. That was something I had to learn to believe about myself as a CEO and as a leader, in order to get to the next level. And so, what's that for you? What stage of the founder journey are you in? And what shift must you make to break through that ceiling? What stage are you in? Of the three that I mentioned, which one are you in? And then the question is, cool, what what shifts do I need to make? Good ways to reflect. What I want you to see, if you're just here right now, if you're watching this, I want you to know most founders never break this trap. They stay stuck here. Only the few willing to shred. I probably should have said shed, but maybe they shred themselves, like getting a six pack. I meant to say shed. So let's do this. A little bit of a humor is always really good for a presentation, right? Only the few willing to shed and rebuild their identity step into true visionary leadership. There's a quote that my wife, co-founder of Structure with me, shared, I think yesterday, and I hope I don't botch it. She learned from another entrepreneur that was telling her the ones who win aren't the best, they're the boldest. And I think that's really important to know is that if you want to grow, if you want to step into your next level, what's probably not standing in your way is just operational complexities. You'll use them. But what's really standing in your way is who you believe you are, and further, who you think others believe you are, and rebuilding that, recreating that, changing that, shedding parts of that is what's really scary. It's really scary. And I've been through that as well. So, what I want you to know is the future is yours. Imagine for a second being one of the few founders who doesn't just win, but is recognized with a brand, body, and a legacy that lasts decades, not just days. Imagine what would that look like? And the truth is that's possible. Lots of people have done that. Why not you? Why not you? This, what I've learned, reforming my identity as a leader, going through latter stages is this is the hardest, most rewarding work you'll ever step into. And when you say, I want to be a founder, you think I want to make $1 million. However, what you're really saying is, I want to become someone who can make $1 million. And that becoming is the thing we overlook, but is the key to growth. All right, how I can help you transform. We're here nearing the end. Let me look at this. We're 45 minutes. Perfect. Um, I want to share. I'm here to help. I would love to answer any questions. Let's see. Usually at this stage, actually, I need to reorganize. I open it up for questions. So it doesn't look like we have anyone here at the moment. But if you're watching later, you feel free to pop these in the comments and I will answer them at a later time. But any questions? What's keeping you stuck right now in your business, in your life? Please share feelings, opinions about this topic. Would truly love to hear. Does this resonate with you? Like, did this click at all, or does it feel like nonsense, something you've never heard? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Like, these are. I would love the feedback, and not just for me, but um, I want to know for you. Do you see how life performance growth drives business performance growth? Do you see how who you are as a leader determines the potential of your company? There's these phrases that I like to use that are the core of everything I do. And one of them is business is personal. And we've all probably heard that phrase in the negative form, which is it's not personal, it's just business. And that comes really from The Godfather, where I think it's Sonny says, it's not personal, it's just business. We got to just do this thing. I don't remember what they're going to do, but the point is, we hear that. You hear that when you get fired. You hear that when there's company changes. You hear that when any time there's something bad or negative or change happening in a company. It's just a freaking excuse. And one that bothers the crap out of me because it's a lie. And it's not true because business is very personal. But business is personal isn't just an excuse, it's actually an outcome. And it's an outcome that who you are determines how your business performs if you're the founder. And there's another quote that I love to use, and I didn't make this one up, but it is I can't remember who said it, but they said, um, oh, I'm thinking of a different quote. How you do anything is how you do everything. Have to get that out of my mouth because that's the one I'm thinking about, which is also a good one. But the quote I'm thinking about is, oh man, this is embarrassing. It's totally escaped me. And I'm live. That's okay. Um, I'm gonna have to come back to it. I don't remember it. I say it all the time. Oh, business problems are just personal problems in disguise. You waited for that. Thank you. I hope it was worth it. Business problems are just personal problems in disguise. And that's something I've shared with my team. That's something I've shared with a lot of leaders. That's something I've used in I remember that every day. And the truth is if your business is held back, is stuck, is at a ceiling, it's something that has to do with you, likely. Okay. How can I help you transform? Got a few ways. And I don't want to overwhelm. One is an alignment check. Quick clarity on your biggest bottleneck. This is a little scorecard that I put together that's a document that I would love to send you for free. If you are watching this and you want quick clarity on your biggest bottleneck as it relates to life and business, and the five domains that we talked about today, let me know. Hit me up in the DMs and just ask for the alignment check and I will send it to you for free. Love to share that. Two, alignment intensive. This is a 2-day workshop, deep dive to reset your vision, rebuild belief, and sharpen your focus. We walk out of that. We've done many of these, and they're always very high impact. We walk out of this session with a bigger vision of the future, clarity, and just a drive to make stuff happen. And it's cool to see how pieces always come together and align during that just 2 days. Um, Number three is my alignment program. And this is a 12-month program into the hardest, most rewarding room you'll ever step into. And this is my flagship program that I am building. Um, I'm going to be building, and I am building. And this is the next thing I'm most excited about right now. And my goal is to be the number one business coaching program for world-class founders out there. And I want to help world-class founders grow uh, better than anyone else. And this is the core of that mission. So I'm very excited about that. If I can help you with that, if you're interested in that at all, let me know. And I'll happy to share more about it. If I can leave you with one thing at the end of this, and you don't remember anything else, remember this. If you don't align, you drift. And you can drift through business, you can drift through life. And that's what happens if you don't align. And here's the thing, drift destroys dreams. Drift destroys dreams, but alignment builds legacy. See you next time. If you joined to watch, thank you so much. I will be doing this live here on LinkedIn every Thursday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you have any questions, hit me up with an email. Hope to talk to you soon. Thank you so much.